Subscribe to the channel and hit like right now, because this video is not just about new rules, it's about why Formula may first be quietly pushing its most dominant driver toward the exit. Formula One is about to change more in 2026 than it has changed in decades. Not cosmetically. Not politically. Fundamentally. The cars. The engines. The way power is deployed. The way overtaking works. The way drivers interact with the machine. On paper, these changes are being sold as progress, sustainability, efficiency, better racing, a cleaner future. But beneath the polished language and carefully prepared press releases, there's a growing tension that no one at the top seems fully comfortable addressing. Because these new regulations don't just redefine Formula One. They redefine what it feels like to drive a Formula One car. And for a certain type of driver, especially one who built his legacy on raw control, instinct, and mechanical aggression, that matters more than championships, contracts, or legacy points. Before we even talk about Max Verstappen, we need to understand what Formula One is turning into in 2026. Because once you see the full picture, his recent comments stop sounding dramatic and start sounding logical. In 2026, Formula One introduces a complete reset of both power unit philosophy and car behavior. The current 1.6-liter V6 turbo engine stays, but the soul of the system changes. The MGUH, the complex energy recovery system that harvests heat from the turbo, is gone. In its place, Formula One doubles down on electrification. The MGUK, which recovers kinetic energy under braking, jumps from 120 kilowatts to 350 kilowatts. That's not an evolution. That's a transformation. For the first time, power output is split almost 50-50 between combustion and electricity. The engines will still produce over 1,000 horsepower, but how that power arrives and when becomes far more artificial. Energy deployment is no longer just a byproduct of driving style. It becomes a management system. At the same time, Formula One moves to 100% sustainable fuels, a landmark decision that aligns the sport with global decarbonization goals. From a political and marketing standpoint, it's a win. From a driving standpoint, it adds another layer of complexity. And complexity is the recurring theme of 2026. The cars themselves are changing shape. Wheelbase is reduced. Width is cut. Minimum weight drops by around 30 kilograms. On the surface, this sounds like a return to nimble, aggressive cars. But there's a catch. Downforce is reduced by roughly 30%. Drag is reduced by more than 50%. These cars are designed to be fast on the straights and far less planted in the corners. To compensate, Formula One introduces something it has never fully embraced before: active aerodynamics. No more DRS. Instead, drivers switch between modes. Z mode for corners, maximizing downforce. X mode for straights, minimizing drag. The front and rear wings physically change their angles while the car is moving. On top of that, a manual electrical override allows a chasing car to deploy extra energy to assist overtaking. This is not old-school racing. This is a system. A calculated, software-governed balance between energy, aerodynamics, and timing. And for many drivers, that's exciting. For others, it feels like something is being taken away. If you're still following this, subscribe now. This channel doesn't just repeat headlines, it explains why Formula One keeps changing the game while pretending nothing is wrong. Because now we arrive at the pressure point. The 2026 era isn't about raw speed. It's about efficiency. Efficiency of energy deployment. Efficiency of airflow. Efficiency of weight distribution. And nowhere is that more dangerous than at Red Bull. For the first time in its history, Red Bull is not a customer team. It's a full works manufacturer. Red Bull Ford Powertrains designs the engine. Red Bull designs the chassis. Red Bull owns the success and the failure. Max Verstappen has been unusually clear about this. He doesn't talk about horsepower numbers. He talks about integration. About how a powerful engine means nothing if the chassis becomes unpredictable. About how weight from batteries changes the balance. About how active aero can make a car feel disconnected if not perfectly synchronized. His language isn't celebratory. It's cautious. Almost defensive. Because this is the first time in his career where everything could go wrong at once. Then came the comments that raised eyebrows across the paddock. Verstappen openly admitted what everyone knows but rarely says out loud. That teams are hunting for illegal performance. That loopholes are the real battlefield. That thermal expansion, energy behavior, and interpretation games are already defining 2026 before a single race has happened. From a sporting perspective, this is business as usual. From a political perspective, it's radioactive. Because Verstappen didn't just describe the problem. He challenged the system. He warned that if Formula One turns into a lawyer-driven championship, if rule clarifications destroy years of development overnight, then the sport loses its meaning. And then he said something far more revealing. He said he has no interest in being part of that. If this feels bigger than a rules debate, subscribe. Because what's unfolding here isn't technical, it's philosophical. Max Verstappen has already achieved everything. Multiple world titles. Statistical dominance. Historical relevance. He doesn't need records. What he wants is enjoyment. And that's where the 2026 regulations become dangerous. Because they directly affect the feel of driving. Active aero means less instinct. Energy management means less spontaneity. Reduced downforce means less trust in the car. Add a 24-race calendar. Add constant political battles. Add pressure from a brand new engine program. Suddenly, Formula One stops being pure racing. It becomes endurance, not on track, but mentally. Verstappen has been open about wanting other things. Le Mans. GT racing. Running his own team. He's not threatening. He's explaining. And when he says a contract is just a piece of paper if the fire is gone, that's not posturing. That's someone drawing a boundary. When Verstappen says he could walk away as early as the end of 2026, it shocks fans. But it doesn't shock engineers. Because this new Formula One demands patience, compromise, and political tolerance. Traits that are useful but not what made Verstappen great. If the Red Bull Ford engine struggles. If the active aero feels artificial. If the racing becomes about management instead of mastery. Then staying makes no sense for him. Not emotionally. Not competitively. Not philosophically. Formula One is moving toward control. Verstappen thrives in chaos. Those paths don't align forever. Like the video and subscribe now. Because understanding why drivers leave matters more than celebrating when they arrive. The 2026 regulations aren't pushing Max Verstappen out directly. They're changing the sport in a way that no longer guarantees he'll want to stay. And that's the real bomb. Not retirement. Not rebellion. But misalignment. Formula One is evolving fast, deliberately, and unapologetically. The question is no longer whether Max Verstappen can adapt. It's whether he wants to. Subscribe to the channel and hit like, because the future of Formula One is being decided long before the lights go out on Sunday.